Welcome back to The Secret to Living in Today's Hostile Culture series on the Fractured Truth podcast by Battle Armor. Today we're going to delve into a topic that is of immense importance to us as Christians: the cultural shift away from Christian values. Our world is changing rapidly. In the grand tapestry of history, we've seen remarkable advancements in technology, shifts in family structures, and evolving social norms. While some of these changes have undoubtedly brought positive aspects to our lives, they've also given rise to a cultural shift that has moved us further away from the values rooted in the Christian faith. One of the major influences driving this cultural shift is secularism. Secularism, in essence, is the idea that religious considerations should be excluded from civil affairs and public education. It promotes a worldview that emphasizes the temporal and material aspects of life, often sidelining or outright rejecting spiritual and moral values. This secularism can be seen in various aspects of our culture, from government policies that undermine religious freedoms, to educational settings that shy away from teaching moral values rooted in Christianity. But let's not forget the influence of moral relativism. This is the idea that morality is subjective, that there are no absolute truths, and that everyone's beliefs and values are equally valid. In a culture heavily influenced by moral relativism, it becomes increasingly challenging to uphold the timeless moral standards found in the Bible. In a world where moral relativism is prevalent, we often hear phrases like, "What's true for you may not be true for me." This can erode the foundations of moral and ethical principles that are central to the Christian faith. So how can we understand this cultural shift from a biblical perspective? Let's turn to the Word of God. In 2 Timothy 3:1-5, the Apostle Paul warned Timothy about the characteristics of the last days. He described a culture where people would be lovers of self, lovers of money, proud, arrogant, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy, heartless, unappeasable, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, not loving good, treacherous, reckless, swollen with conceit, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God. Sound familiar? It's striking how these words seem to reflect aspects of our modern culture. It's a stark reminder that the cultural shift we're witnessing isn't entirely new, but it's essential for us as Christians to recognize it and respond with grace and conviction. In conclusion, the cultural shift away from Christian values is a complex phenomenon driven by secularism and moral relativism. But as believers, we must remain steadfast in our faith, guided by the unchanging truths of the Bible.